Hello everyone, and welcome to my 90-day Fiance official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ingrid from 90-day Fiance. Before the 90 days had experienced a horrible life before meeting Muniz from season 7. Ingrid is a 32-year-old woman from Gurupi in Brazil. Ingrid had been in a relationship for 2 years but didn't expect what was going to happen when Brian finally met her in person. 51-year-old Brian from Harvard met Ingrid after a long series of bad circumstances. Brian had not revealed Ingrid his real age when they started talking. She believed Brian was 45 years old since he had told her he was 43 when they had just met. Brian never told Ingrid the real tale of how he became quadriplegic. Brian used to be a drug dealer who was also addicted to drugs, but he resolved to quit all his vices. However, Brian's ex-wife didn't appear to approve of his new lifestyle and had apparently ordered someone to go and carjack him. All these things that Brian should have expressed to Ingrid when they were speaking online were finally told to her on day 2 of Brian's visit to Brazil. An even bigger mystery is also yet to be exposed. Brian is still legally married to his third ex-wife, again from Brazil. Ingrid has also had other failed relationships in the past, like Brian. During her introduction, Ingrid spoke about how she loves staying in the countryside. The natural splendor there made Ingrid feel like she was in heaven while being on earth. The opening few moments of her 90-day Fiance, before the 90 days introduction, showed Ingrid masterfully riding a horse in her elegant cowgirl costume. She remarked about how there were many amazing advantages to living in her nation, but life had not always been simple for Ingrid. Ingrid was pictured picking up her son from school. Ingrid asked her son Arthur if they could drive to the grocery to purchase some donuts, and she got into the car with him to head home. Ingrid added that she also had a different son named Italo, who's not been featured in the episode yet. Italo is currently 12 years old and Ingrid was 25 when she got divorced from Italo's father. Ingrid did not divulge whether Italo was nowhere to be seen on the show because his father had his custody. Even Brian did not seem to ask Ingrid where Italo was when he got to her home. Ingrid revealed that Arthur was 2 years and 9 months old. She met Arthur's father a few years after her first divorce. Ingrid had fallen pregnant with Arthur before she could marry her new partner. Ingrid should have seen it as a red flag, but found out about the man's actual nature instantly. Ingrid's baby daddy abandoned her just 2 months into her pregnancy. He spoke about how Arthur's father had abandoned her when she needed him the most. Ingrid fought back tears as she told the camera all about her failed relationships. Ingrid had to raise her son Arthur single-handedly. Arthur's father had dumped her in the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic. Ingrid said that she had been unemployed when Arthur was 7 months old. It was just the two of them struggling against the world, me with a baby and no one, she added while talking about how she'd never been able to obtain any support financially. Ingrid refers to it as the very drastic phase of her life. Ingrid did overcome the tough era in her life with the grace of God. Ingrid stated that life as a single mom was really challenging. Ingrid wanted to find someone who would care for her and her kids. Ingrid met Brian on a dating service. She believed Brian looked handsome, interesting, combined with him being 45 and charming. Ingrid thought Brian was at a decent age. Ingrid was astonished when Brian informed her he used a wheelchair because she'd never had any experience with a wheelchair user. She soon discovered that Brian was traveling alone and doing things independently, which was Brian's condition was that he could do everything that a normal person does, and that just didn't work. Brian had assured Ingrid that he washed, walked, drove, and did the cooking all by himself. "My legs are the chair, that's all," Ingrid recalls Brian stating. However, the minute Brian got in Brazil, he ordered Ingrid around. Brian even wanted Ingrid to help him unbutton his slacks and place his catheter. Ingrid had learned that Brian wanted a nurse for him, but would she be ready to make the sacrifice? 90-day Fiance. Before the 90 days, star Niles Valentine's relationship with Matilda is going to end sooner or later because of all the red signals the Ghanaian woman has showed so far in season 7. Niles is a 27-year-old man from Mobile, Alabama. Niles always understood that he was different. He encountered problems in school and couldn't get along with people. Niles was told he had autistic spectrum condition. Niles told the cameras about how terrible it can be both emotionally and mentally. In most circumstances, it hinders one's capacity to perceive social nuances. Niles mentioned how he may be abrupt, leading to him having problems building normal connections. Niles also has heightened senses and has to be careful when it comes to noises, lights, electricity, etc. Niles commented about how he loved his peer advocate work since he'd also love to stand up for individuals. However, this work alone did not help Niles. He claimed he was working food deliveries to save money for his vacation. Niles knew he was going to spend at least $3,000, and also a bride price which he had to pay Matilda's family. Niles has been dating Matilda for 2 years since meeting her on social internet. Matilda had sent a DM to Niles out of nowhere. At first, he believed it was too wonderful to be true because she was lovely. Matilda's smile made Niles feel a type of way. Given everything he had been through, Niles didn't think that love was possible for him. However, Niles and Matilda grew closer as they started talking every day. Matilda told Niles she accepted him for who he was when he told her he had autism spectrum condition. Niles was heading to Ghana to meet Matilda for the first time in person. Niles told his co-workers that he was still thinking about bringing Matilda to the US. He told them that Matilda wanted him to get married on that trip. It made Niles feel overwhelmed and anxious. Niles was the one who proposed to Matilda on the phone, but she started arranging her wedding immediately. Niles stated he was frightened of telling Matilda to postpone the wedding since she would then terminate things quickly. Niles didn't want to lose the love of his life. Matilda commented about how Niles makes her happy when asked why she fell for him. She also said that Niles was sending her money in the 2 years that they were dating. She commented about how Niles had told her about him having autism. She told the cameras that a lot of people in Ghana don't understand autism. And some people believe it's a curse, she continued. Niles had told Matilda that he was highly sensitive, he didn't like noise, and that he might become easily overwhelmed. Matilda knew that traveling to Ghana was going to be hard for him. Matilda claimed that she didn't have a good career in Ghana. She was helping her mother out in the market. Matilda sold roasted plantains and crushed nuts. To Matilda, Offenso was a boring place because it didn't have clubs or big restaurants. Matilda said she wanted to move to the US to start her future there. Matilda highlighted how difficult it is to make money in Offenso. Her father used to be a carpenter, but he passed away. Matilda reported that the market was not excellent for plantains. Sometimes now you won't even get half of the money, she added. Thanks for watching, everyone. What do you think will happen next? We love hearing from you.